Most catchers break in their mitts the wrong way and it ruins them. Trust me, I've done this more times than I care to admit. But after tons of trial and error and talking with a bunch of pros, I finally figured out what actually works. In this video, I'm gonna break down how to hold your glove, because how you hold it actually matters. How to shape it for your playing style, how to break it in fast without ruining it, what not to do, because there's a lot of bad advice out there, and how to maintain your mitt so it lasts season after season. So first we gotta choose how you're actually gonna hold your mitt. There's a few different ways. One is gonna be regular, where you have basically one finger in each slot, except this one is a big slot. It has two, and so you have a pinky loop that goes right here. This is okay, but it kind of makes you squeeze your glove thin, like an infielder, when we actually want to have a deeper pocket. Plus your finger being right here gets blown up by all the fastballs that you're gonna catch. So that's why a lot of people shift their fingers and will go either 2 in the pinky or 2 in the ring. Ultimately, both of these styles have 3 fingers in this one loop right here. It's just kind of a matter of how tight this pinky strap is and whether the pinky is in it or whether the pinky and the ring finger are in this loop. All 3 of them are in this section. Personally, I like 2 in the ring because it makes it feel a little bit stronger. I think sometimes when we get 2 in the pinky, it makes my hand get a little too wide, whereas this, I feel a little bit stronger in the close than this. So totally up to you, but I would definitely suggest shifting your fingers over so that you aren't catching it traditional. The final thing that you gotta decide is whether you want your finger in or you want your finger out. Neither one is right or wrong, but I will say that sometimes if your finger is out, this little lacing on the glove can ultimately bruise your finger depending on how fast a velocity you're catching. A lot of pro players will actually have padding inside, like underneath this area right here, just because they're catching 100 miles an hour, like 200 times a day. But I personally like to go finger in because I think it just feels better. So figure out what you like and then just roll with it. Second, we gotta choose what kind of shape you want for your glove. There's kind of 2 main ways. There's one that is the traditional way. This is if you go straight up, you're probably gonna close your glove a little bit thin like this. Some people like that, and if you like that, that's totally fine. Personally, I don't like that very much, and I don't feel like it gives me very much control of the pocket. So when I shift my fingers, it helps me to box the pocket a little bit more. Now, this is really important, okay? What you will find with a boxed pocket is that basically we create a box with the crease right here. So you can see if I kind of zoom in here, there's a crease there, and there's a crease there, and it creates a box like that. A traditional box puts your finger and your thumb right on top of each other. The issue with that is you see this little loop, that's not good, because the ball, especially like on pitches where you go down and away, this glove is kind of angled back, maybe we're a little bit late, it'll hit and it'll run like that. So if you get a bunch of balls like this and it's kind of snow coning, my guess is it's because you've boxed the web and this loop is allowing for that to happen. One of my friends, Taylor Justice, who I met through Warstick and Banana Ball, he actually played at Biola too. He told me about a shifted box. Basically, it's a box, but instead of having the finger and the thumb be at the same spot, we shift it to the side, and now you can see what happens to the web. Now it closes. Now there's nowhere for that ball to escape. Even if you do catch it and it rolls, it's not gonna have that room to pop out right there, because now we've shifted it. So you gotta choose what type of shape you want for your glove. I would recommend shifting the box and having 2 in the ring in terms of how you hold it. So that leaves you with the question, well, how do I actually form this shape? Well, there's 3 simple steps that I would do in order to get a perfect pocket. I would take this finger and I would take it almost down, like the palm of my left hand is right where I'm taking that finger. Then I'm gonna take this part of the glove and bend it, especially at the beginning. You just want to break up all the fibers. And then the other piece that I'm bending is my thumb. Basically what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get a little bit more of a circle. Sometimes you'll see gloves that look like this and it's just too flat. And so we want to bend the thumb, bend the fingers, bend this part of the glove so that it opens up so that there's a real target and a real pocket for it to go into. But probably the biggest thing to shift the box is taking this and bending it down so that when it squeezes, it's just a little bit shifted. If you're liking this video so far and you want more resources on how to actually get better at catching, go to catchingmadesimple.com/free and I'll give you a bunch of free resources. Third, now you gotta choose how you're actually gonna break it in. Are you just gonna play catch with it? Are you gonna hit it with a fungo? Are you gonna dunk it in water? There's a bunch of different ways and none of them are necessarily right or wrong. Everyone likes their glove broken in just a little bit differently. But here's what I would recommend. One, I would definitely recommend just playing a bunch of catch catch with it. And at the beginning, if you can get off a machine and just catch it in the pocket and not even try to squeeze it, I think that's phenomenal. I actually talked to the catching coach for the Texas Rangers, Bobby Wilson, and he said something pretty crazy. They literally take this and hit it with a fungo.
How do you typically break in your gloves? Me personally, I used to toss them up and hit them with a bat.
Partly because all the fingers all along here and the padding is so stiff. The number one goal as you're breaking it in, if you're trying to break it in quickly, is literally just to loosen it up. Because it's so stiff, one of the best ways to loosen it up is to pound it with the mallet, or what they do, they literally toss it up and take a full swing with the fungo to try to just loosen up all the fibers in here. Some people dunk it in water. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of that. Ultimately, I would recommend playing catch with it to break it in. And when you do play catch with it at the beginning, just catch it in the pocket and don't worry about squeezing it. If you squeeze it too early, it might also ruin the shape. So next, let's talk about what not to do. First, I would say do not put this thing in the oven or the microwave. This leather is good leather, and when you heat it up like that, it makes it break easier. Second, don't put it under your bed. If you're gonna wrap it, then you can wrap it, but personally, I don't like to wrap it either. When I was in college, I had a Rawlings Harder to Hide, and I wrapped it, and I felt like I ruined it. Now, I might have wrapped it wrong. I might have tried to wrap it in a box, but I would just play catch with it. The other thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to put too much oil and conditioner on here. That can be really good, and we'll talk about how to maintain it next. But if you put too much on here, it gets really heavy. Now, fifth, we're going to talk about how do we actually maintain this so it lasts season after season. First, where do we store this thing? Well, I would recommend either keeping it in your bag or keeping it out of your bag, and we'll talk about how to keep it in your bag if you do that. But also try to bring it inside. Try not to leave it in the car. If you do that, then it's going to get really cold. It's not going to necessarily ruin it, but it might make the lifetime last just a little bit less. So try to keep it in nice warm condition. Next, another thing that you can do is you can use some glove conditioner. This is Warstick's glove conditioner with their catcher's mitt. Again, you can throw this on. Don't do too much, but definitely put some on, condition it, take care of it. If you take care of the leather, it's gonna take care of you. Finally, if you do keep it in your bag, I would recommend getting something like a web gem. You could also use a baseball or a softball, but you wanna have something in your glove so that when it's in your bag, it's not getting smashed and looks like this when you take it out. Okay, when you put it down, what you want it to look like is this. If your glove is all floppy and it looks like that when you pick it up, that's probably not the best shape. So in order to maintain it, you gotta work a little bit to keep the pocket. You can put a baseball here, you can put 2 baseballs here. Some people even put a softball here, but personally I'm not the biggest fan because I think it makes the pocket a little bit bigger than we actually want it. Or you could get something like the web gem and actually put this in here, and you can put it in your bag and feel confident that when you take this thing out, that the shape isn't gonna be all messed up. So there you go. Choose how you wanna hold it, choose how you wanna shape it, choose how you wanna break it in, choose what not to do, and choose how you're gonna take care of it. I'm Coach Bougie. If you like this video, then check out this video on catcher's gear. I'll catch you later.